Hey guys, this is Vicki Ronchetti with Show Dog Prep School. This is our shelter-in-place free puppy class, number 3. Maybe against my better judgment, we'll see. I'm allowing Cannoli to be in here too. This is Money Penny and Cannoli is her mother. They're Lao Chen. But I just thought it would be fun to sort of play around with letting you see training one dog if you have a resident dog, or maybe you want to work on one of the dogs having some impulse control. We'll see how that goes, because that is not Cannoli's thing. Impulse control is not her jam. All right, so let's talk about some things for our little puppy raising discussion before we get started on training. So one thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, I haven't taught puppy classes for a while, but I did teach them for a long, long time before I went to doing all conformation. So I've told you guys this before, but basically the way it looked is every week we would do a little bit of discussion, then a little bit of training, then a little bit of play, call the puppies out of play. We would do some more discussion, some more training, and then some more play. So the play was not just like a free-for-all. Initially it was. When I first started, it was sort of like that. But as I sort of cleaned up my puppy class, it really was more controlled, because I didn't want these puppies to develop bad habits. Like when you see other dogs, it's just a big free-for-all and all you have to do is run around and go crazy. So, so one of the things that we talked about was daily handling exercises. And so I'd like you guys to start that. I'm going to show you with Money. Money's filthy. She's going to get a bath today. And Cannoli might get a bath today too. So ignore her dirty little face. But what I'd like you guys to do, and this is particularly important if you have a new puppy, so a little puppy. And this is something everybody should do with their puppies, but it's really important for show puppies because these guys are going to be touched everywhere. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to lower this so you can see Money, is that when you're just hanging out with your puppy and like watching TV or whatever, you're going to get them very used to some daily handling exercises. So every day I want them to be okay. And that's why Cannoli is not the star of the show. Are you kidding? So you guys want to just see what this little monster does? Let's see if I can turn it. Look at, I'll just sit in this bed and scream at you because you're not talking to me. And that is life with Holy Cannoli. So hopefully she's not going to be a complete jerk the whole time. You're welcome to come up here with us. Noli, come up here with us. No, she can't be bothered. She's carrying a cactus around and screaming when she's not doing that. So every day, and I recommend doing this for a full year, for the full first year of your puppy's life. Looking in their ears. So just gently lifting up the ear and looking inside. That one needs to be, her ears need to be plucked, so maybe we'll do that later. And then looking in the ears. Looking in the mouth. Like that. Daily handling of the feet. This will help with nail trims. And then also, if they're comfortable with it, looking at their belly and checking their underpart. Okay, so I want them to be totally used to that. So what happens a lot is when puppies are, you know, let's say 3 months old, they don't care if you do this stuff. They're just like a little, you know, little sponge, just like rolling around, whatever you want to do. But a lot of dogs will develop an aversion to that. So you want to make sure that you keep doing it, that you just make it like it's not a big deal. And with my little puppies, like baby puppies that are born here, I'm touching them with clippers when they're very, very little, like 3 weeks old, because I want them to get used to that vibration and feeling. So those are things that I would like you guys to do all the time, because some dogs don't mind it when they're babies. So people go, I don't need to do that. She doesn't care. But you know what? When they're 7 or 8 months, they suddenly care when you want to clip their nails. So we want to get them very used to that. The other thing I want to start talking about too is the use of real life rewards. So I'm showing you how to train with food, right? So we're using food. Joe needs another puppy. I know. I mean, I do have puppies. Money Penny's only 1. This one's only a year, and the poodle's only a year. But I see all these baby puppies, and it's like, somebody send me something to train. But I'm getting a lot of good training done on my own dogs. So real life rewards. So basically, I'm showing you how to use food, right? And a lot of times what people will say is that they don't want to use food because what if I don't have food one day? And the answer is that you don't have to use food all the time once the dog is trained. We use food a lot when we're training the behaviors, right? Because it's a very quick, immediate, easy to deliver reinforcer, and it's a primary reinforcer. That means we don't need to teach the dog to like it. Dogs they fall out of their mothers needing to eat food. And so it's a primary reinforcer. We don't have to teach that. Something like a ball, something like attention, all those things are secondary reinforcers or learned. So once the dog knows how to do a behavior, you can start thinking about things that the dog is going to get anyways that you could use as reinforcers for your real life rewards. So in other words, if in the beginning I'm teaching this puppy to sit and I'm giving her a treat every time, eventually if she likes to play tug, I can ask her to sit and then play tug. I can ask her to sit to get the leash on to go for a walk. I can ask her to sit and wait before going through a door. All of those things to sort of, whatever I'm going to give anyways. Like if I'm going to give them their food, then I can ask them to sit or down or do any behavior, it doesn't matter, before I deliver that food. With Dolly, my poodle, because we're working on her trick dog title, I'm feeding the majority of her food, her meal, in our trick training. So I feed all the other dogs, I put them outside to go potty, I bring Dolly in here with her bowl of food, and I use that as a reinforcer for training. But once she knows how to do those things, then I'm gonna be able to use other reinforcers, like just petting or touching or anything the dog wants, access to something. You wanna go through that gate, then you need to do this behavior first, and the reinforcer will be going through the gate. So those are real life rewards. The other thing is I really just wanna keep reminding you guys to make sure that you're figuring a way for your dogs to have alone time, especially if you have a baby puppy, because we don't want these guys to develop separation anxiety or something because they're never by themselves, which is which is sort of what's happening right now. So make sure that they're getting used to at least spending some time by themselves, in a crate, in another room, even in a crate in your car. Like, especially if you're going to be doing dog shows or dog sports and the weather permits, go ahead and put a crate in your car and let the dog spend an hour out there. Build it up to where they're comfortable with that. So we want to get these skills in now. We might have to be a little bit creative about how we're doing that, in terms of, having to do it when we're in this shelter in place. Hold on, I think somebody had a comment. Sometimes it gets weird about showing me the comments. Now it's got a chat head that won't go away. Okay. All right, so any questions on the daily handling, the real life rewards, or the alone time? As soon as your dog has a behavior pretty well on board, you can actually go ahead and start using real life rewards. Like once they understand a behavior pretty well, you can start asking for that behavior and then using a reinforcer that's not necessarily just a cookie, in your hand. All right, so the behaviors we're going to work on today are sort of impulse control behaviors or self-control behaviors, but these are life skills. Dogs need these. So I wanted to sort of focus on wait, leave it, and stay. So for me, stay is different than wait. Wait means, hold on for a second, I'm going to give you further instructions in a second. Stay means just get comfortable in that position because you're going to be there for a little while. So I actually have put up a little platform so that I could work on Cannoli just staying on the platform, or the other one staying on the platform where I work the other dog. So this is a bit of an advanced skill, but I thought why not do it so you guys could sort of see what it looks like if you are working with two dogs and you feel frustrated that you're not getting, that it's more challenging when you have two dogs. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and head over there. Okay, there's my little training area. There's my little platform. So we are going to work on, we'll work on maybe weight first. So let's say if you wanted to teach the dog weight, like for doorways, and I don't know if she'll be interested in going here, but let's assume that I say, hey, you want to go in here? You want to go in here, Money? Okay, so I'm going to ask her to come over here. Say, Sit. Wait. The only way this door is going to open is if she waits. Money, honey. Sit. Wait. So when she gets up, see how it just stops? The only way to get through this, Money, sit, wait. Oh, so it stopped because she started to get all, oh, and try and push through. Cannoli, sit, wait. Sit, wait. Sit, wait. Good girl! Good girl, Cannoli! You see that? So, and you can do that at the front door. You can do that when you're working on taking the dog out for a walk, all that kind of stuff. You can also do it with food, with their bowl. Like you could ask one dog to, or you can ask the dog to sit and wait and then go to put their food bowl down, and if they, get up here, thank you. And if they get up, then they don't get it. So I'm gonna work Money Penny and have Cannoli on the platform, just working on staying up here. Cannoli, up. Good girl. Sit. So I need to reinforce this one for staying up here, right? Cannoli, up here. Sit. Good girl. Good. Cannoli, down. Down. You can do it. Thank you. Stay. Nice. So see how right now I'm just trying to develop a little bit of a setup. This is how it's going to look, guys. You're going to stay. This one's going to get trained. Good. But I need to keep reinforcing this one for staying, right? Okay. Sit. Yes. Good. Stay. All right. So now we're going to work. Thank you. Now we're going to work on teaching Leave It. So I like to teach this with the food in my hand. Good. Stay, Knowles. Sit. Yes. So I'm going to put food in my hand, and I'm going to try and keep reinforcing this one for staying here. So the food's going to be in my closed hand, a piece of fairly high value. Good. Cannoli, down. Down. Thank you. Money, over here. Sit. The food's, you need to stay there. The food's going to be in this hand. I'm going to say to the dog, good. Leave it one time, and I'm going to wait for her to pull back before I deliver any food. Leave it. So she's mugging my hand. Cannoli, up here. Down. Down. Stay. Leave it, and I wait for her to pull. Yes. And the moment she pulls back, thank you. The moment she pulls back is when I deliver that food. So I can say leave it now with the behavior not really being on cue, because I know I can make it. I know I can make it happen because I'm not going to open my hand and give her the food. Leave it. Yes. And the moment she pulls back, thank you. Good job, Knowles. Leave it. I ignore all the mugging. She's licking. Yes. And the moment she pulls back, thank you. Good girl. She gets rewarded for that. Leave it. Yes. And notice how you can get here. Oh, up here, please. Thank you. Down. Thank you. The moment she leaves it, I deliver that treat. Now, I always loved teaching this in classes. I think I taught this on week 5 because it's super easy and it's sort of like instant gratification. Stay, Cannoli. Leave it. Yes. Down, please. Thank you very much. Leave it. Yes. Now if I want to make it harder, thank you, I can do this. Leave it, but if she goes for it, I close my hand. Now I open it, close it. The penalty for going up to it is that the hand closes. And she can't. Cannoli, come up here. Down. Down. Stay. Leave it. So I'm going to reward her just for that one. Thank you. Stay. Leave it. Hand closes. Yes. Good girl. Did you see how she didn't? Thank you. That's much better. Stay. Leave it. Yes. Good girls. I wonder if the baby can get up here. Okay, let's have a switch. Let's try it with Knowles. Okay. Money Penny, up. Money, up. Good. Cannoli, come here. Cannoli. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Stay. Up. Stay. Thank you. Stay. This is new. She's never done this. So she's going to, thank you. She's going to need more reinforcement. Leave it. Yes. See how Cannoli goes right to a paw trick? Thank you. Leave it. Yes. Thank you very much. Good job. Stay. Leave it. Yes. Cannoli goes right to thinking to try something with her paw. Good girl. Can you lie down? Down. Yeah, I know you have to. Thank you. So this is a lot for her. She's never done this before. Up. Money. Up. Thank you. Down. Down. Thank you. Good job. Wait. Leave it. Yes. Stay. Leave it. Good job. Good girl. Okay. Good girls. So that was like a little weird and sloppy because obviously I'm working 2 dogs. So if I'm working with a client and they just are having a hard time with this, what I'll sometimes do is just have a crate right here so that when I'm working one dog, the other dog's in the crate so they can't actually come over and fuss and mess around because sometimes that's really frustrating for people. But if I had a crate right here, I could put Noli in the crate and work Money Penny, then put Money Penny in the crate and work Cannoli. So both of those work really well for that. Hey, what happened? Why have you been chewing back here? She says, because we don't do anything anymore. All right, so just for fun, let's do a quick little work on stay. So you notice I don't use a clicker for some of this stuff because a clicker for my dogs, you girls both want to get up here? Good. Good job. Sit. Nice. Stay. So I don't need to go anywhere yet. I just am staying right in front of them. Stay. Good. Stay. Stay. It's a little sloppy. She's good. Stay, Knowles. Stay. You can see from this probably, thank you, how a platform can be really helpful because stay. It discourages, now look at, see how that one, I'm not going to pay this one. She has to figure that out, how to get paid. You want to get back up there? Good, thank you. Sit, stay. Good. Stay. Better. Nice work. Just holding the position while I'm dropping food is hard. Get back up there, please, ladies. Thank you. Sit. Stay. See how the bigger one, the mom, Cannoli, gets it? She's had more training. Stay. No, don't pay for that. Thank you. Stay. So I need to make it a little easier for her. I'm kind of pushing and making it harder. Sit. Stay. Yes. Good. Good job, girls. Money. Stay. 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 Good. Stay. Stay. Nice choice. Very good puppy. Stay. Oh. Stay. So I just make it a tiny bit easier. Stay. Thank you. That was a good decision. I like that choice. Stay. Okay, good girls. All right. Let's see if you guys have any questions or comments. Oh, cannoli, look at you over there. Come here, Moneypenny. Get out of there. All right. Did that make sense, guys? Oh, I don't think there's any comments. That's interesting. That's okay. All right, so your homework this week is to be doing daily handling, ears, mouth, belly, and feet. And I want to tell you guys one more thing about the touching of the face. This is supposed to be just habituation and getting them comfortable with it. A lot of people can screw up the dogs being okay about having their bite examined, especially when it's a show puppy and people start getting worried about what's happening with the bite. And this kind of drives me crazy because it's like they get so obsessed with, oh my God, is the bite going off, that they'll just like obsessively check it all the time. Like if the bite was off 2 hours ago, it's still off. You don't need to be digging around in the dog's grill over and over and over and making him frustrated like that. Excuse me, Money, thank you. Come over here by me. Good girl. Cannoli already ran off and who knows what she's doing, but see the baby's here. Okay, so if you're worried about the dog's bite, then don't like 1,000 times a day, you know, and then get all your friends to go in there and dig around. It's just frustrating, and the dogs don't like that. Another thing I want to say is I'll frequently see the recommendation that if a dog's not okay with having his bite looked at, just to go to the dog show and have everybody do it. That is the worst thing you can do. Do not do that. If the dog says, I don't like this, you don't just ignore that and then do it 1,000 times. You say, oh, you don't like this? Let me teach you to be okay with it. And then we desensitize them to it. But just going and just forcing them to have it done, you will make it worse. Eventually they might give up. That's called learned helplessness. If they learn that there's no escape, they'll stop and let you do it. I mean, it's not uncommon for animals to do that, but it doesn't mean they're okay with it. It does not by any means mean they're okay with it. If they're not okay with it and you think that they're just like, they've submitted or whatever, you know, if you had a heart rate monitor, they don't like it. They're not okay. So I want to make sure, Cannoli, you want to come up? I want to make sure that the dogs and puppies are honestly okay with it, that it's really an okay thing. So if they're not okay with having their bite checked, we're just going to desensitize to it. That's how we're going to deal with anything they don't like. Desensitize to it, not just say, too bad for you, you're going to do it. All right, you guys, that is the lesson for today. You can work on stays. You can work on leave-its. I do want to say that it was challenging the way I showed you today, but Noli needs something to do too, so I wanted her to be involved in this, even though she might have to, they're both going to probably have to do a grooming video later. So thanks for watching. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I do want to tell you that I'm allowing the Saturday 10 o'clock confirmation class. It's pretty much open to anybody. It's $10 for the hour. You need to let me know and get the Zoom code to get in. It's $10 if you have it. If you don't have it, you can still join us. I want you to know that I'm working on trying to have more stuff going on our juniors page. So there's a Show Dog Prep School juniors page. And then finally, know that of course I'm still doing remote training. So if you need help with anything, and it could be puppy raising, it doesn't have to be confirmation. If you need help with anything, I'm available for remote training sessions. And we actually are selling a bundle now, so you can buy a bunch and get a discount. So good seeing you guys. I'll see you next week. I hope everyone's doing well and do your homework. Hey, why can't I all of a sudden finish this?